everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your T-shirted historian with a very special Week in Geek presents. We got the one, the only, Memnock. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
And doing fantastic. And we've got our guest panelists to come on and talk to you today. We have Mr. Big Bad himself, Mr. Grim Jim.
Hello.
He's so droll. Yeah. We have 32 Flavors of Nickweiser.
Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, gentlemen?
Going good, guys. Going good. We have Darius Munchausen, who I did actually not know was a black metal fan. I was very surprised.
Hell yeah.
All right. And last but not least, the guy who actually made it all possible, my friend Jace.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
All right.
Hello, Jace.
I hope you guys liked the intro.
It was cool. It was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, thank you.
Unfortunately, YouTube is hitting us for copyright stuff, so we can't actually use any of Abyssic or Antiqua or even Susperia's music, but I will try to shoot you guys out there in the audience some links to those so you can check them out for yourself and take a listen. I also recommend checking out Antiqua and Abyssic on Bandcamp. You can buy it through there right away. Great quality stuff.
Yes.
But all right, let's talk to the man himself. All right, let's just go around. So Memnock.
Yep.
How is everything going out there today?
Well, it's winter, so it's a bit cold, but and I just operated my knee, but other than that, it's great actually. It's so cool to be on, your guys' show. So I'm just looking forward to all your, weird questions.
Well, it's winter. That's like the best time to write black metal music, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's, so I'm currently writing for the new, yet another album for Abyssic. So we just done all the pre-production, but I have already started on the fourth album because I'm
why not?
Yeah, why not? Just because why not? That's
Not like he's got so much going on right now.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So I gotta know. I guess we start off with Antiqua. Tell me about Antiqua, because I heard the two songs. Funeral Crown is just fucking great. I love the center part of that especially. But what can you tell us about that?
Funeral Crown. Well, that is a song we had. I know Lindsay and Zen wrote it and Fabian wrote it like 2 or 3 years ago, and we just wanted to do it as a single, and then of course the COVID thing hits, and so this is basically a song that we have made. I was in Norway, we were each in our own studios and just recorded it separately. And that process was like really a learning process, to put it that way, because there were all the flaws and all the things that could go wrong. They went wrong, of course. So it took quite a while, but eventually, we landed it. Because, when you're playing like me, I'm playing upright bass with a bow. And Dalai, she's also playing with a bow on her cello, obviously. And when it comes to strokes, you have to think about upstroke, downstroke. And she was like struggling because she was like, okay, is Memnock, is he now doing the upstroke or the downstroke? Is he doing... Yeah, because you have to, because otherwise they won't fit together, if you know what I mean. Because if she's going like do, and I'm going like boo, it's like no. They have to. Just look at a big orchestra. There's probably none of those they're all in sync, if you know what I mean.
I actually understand all that. I actually followed all that.
So that was a big struggle also with the vocals because we had from different countries, but I think it turned out great eventually. So
Oh yeah,
It did.
Nice.
it did. It was good stuff. Darius, you got any comment on Funeral Crown or?
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that you could play the upright contrabass, and I dig the symphonic sound of it. It has just like an epic, foreboding quality to it.
the cool part about that is, I play in Abyssic, obviously, and Abyssic we use loads of samples, which is cool. I also play upright bass in Abyssic, but when it comes to Antiqua, there are all real instruments, so we don't use samples when it comes to the string section. So they're all real. So that even made it harder and more challenging because of what I just talked about. So, well, yeah.
Well, so you have been like part of the black metal scene since the beginning. So you got to see all of the really cool bands at their inception, Mayhem, Emperor. I think the only guys who are actually still what I would consider to be old school black metal that are still going at it now is Immortal.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think about the black metal scene? How it has changed over the years? Because it definitely doesn't sound the same now as it did back then.
I'm probably going to get a lot of shit about saying this, but the thing is,
Be honest, man.
yeah, the thing is, now it's all like too commercial. It's too. Everybody plays black metal. Even the Kardashian loves metal. If you know what I mean. It's like, why? Why? What the hell happened? And when it all started, it was like so underground that nobody cared about it, and that was kind of cool because you knew you were in a kind of a rebel. But nowadays, if you play black metal, you're not a rebel anymore. You just the other guy next door. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, Memnock, and I want to bounce off of that a little because a few years ago, I'm not sure how aware you are, but some bands had troubles getting into the U.S. because of certain organizations, and some of them being Take and Marduk. And I'm glad that Take stuck it out, didn't bend the knee to some of these organizations, and Marduk did the best they could. But it's really, really infuriating when I see bands bend the knee and what you say is supposed to be of genuinely rebellious things. It feels like it's becoming more for the machine rather than against the machine.
Yeah, that's the problem. And back in the day, we didn't do it to sell any products. Like, if you know what I mean, I don't care if you wear a certain type of pants or certain type. No, nowadays it's like, you have to wear that brand to be the true black metal, blah blah blah. It's like, no, you really don't. You just have to be true to yourself, honestly, because black metal back in the days were about being, just be a rebel. Don't give a shit about what people thought. And exactly. So, but nowadays it's like, I even see them on national TV at home. It's like, why? Why?
Yep. No, I totally agree with you.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's like just sad. It's just even small kids who wear corpse paint and think it's cool.
Yeah.
Snort of purpose.
And another fun thing is like, clothing stores, they sell kind of merch now, with bands on them, and 90% of the people who buys them doesn't even know what they are.
Exactly.
That's a cool T-shirt. And if they get asked, do you know the band? Oh, I didn't know it was a band. That's.
It had skulls on and shit. It looks cool because it had skulls on. It's like, shut up.
So is it that metal has toned itself down to be commercial, or is it that society at large has become more accepting of edgy stuff, which I don't think is it? Is it that the corporations have just gotten way better at commercializing everything? And where is the edge now?
That's a very good question, actually. And I grew up in a family, in a hippie family. And my mother was the first one in her region that had, the Beatles cuts. She was a woman and had this short Beatles cut, and everybody was like, "You're mad! No, you can't!" And my aunt got refused to go to the church because she said she wanted to wear pants.
Ah.
That used to be a thing. Nowadays, I think that because of the black metal, because of the kids are now like they get exposed to everything every day, and because of what you said about the commercial, the record labels, they saw a thing. They were like, okay, there's money to be made because kids want to be in kind of what is it called? They want to be the opposite of their parents, if you know what I mean.
Counterculture?
Counterculture. Yep. But it tends to be like when big labels, take that and sell it as, some things that people can be a part of, the culture dies because it becomes too commercial, it becomes too big, it becomes too available for everyone. Because a culture like that shouldn't, in my opinion, be available for everyone, because it's not for everyone.
No, it's not, and that's okay. So I have to mention that because I think we need to understand that in the world, everything is not going to be for everyone. It feels like we're trying to push for everything to be for everyone, and that's a problem because I feel like you lose a sense of identity and individuality when you do that, not just in a musical sense, but on an individual sense as well.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. And here we got a fan right here. You got a new fan.
Xenomorph.
He loves what he heard so far. Following on Spotify.
Okay, good one. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. This conversation sounds like something that Grim and I are always talking about as far as gatekeeping our own hobbies.
It's hit everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
It has.
It just seems like, sorry,
go ahead.
To say, it seems like the music industry, black metal scene corrupts itself from inside. That's the problem. Because back then we had an opinion, we stood for something. Nowadays it seems like, as I said, everybody. I listen to black metal. Yeah, why? Because I like it. Yeah, and why? Just because everybody else does? That's not a good...
That's not a good reason.
No. All right. It looks like Raincast has a question.
He's got a good question. He says, how has the writing been with everyone separated at their own studios? Was much of the song ideas already worked out before 2020 started, or did you have to send instrumentals back and forth?
Luckily, Fabian, Zen, and... my God, I just got to... What? I know her name. Whatever. They had worked on the songs before we had to start the process in the studio, so they had it pretty much written. But so yeah. Sorry, my dogs are just barking like mad here now.
That's all right.
Okay.
My pit bulls don't like visitors.
Darius says Lindsay.
Yeah, sorry, that was Lindsay.
Darius is good. All right. Okay. So, like I was saying before we started, in preparation for the interview, I listened to a lot of the Susperia because that was a band that you were part of for the longest.
Sure.
And I don't want anybody to feel bad, but I know he's probably a friend of yours, but I'm going to say I actually like Dagon's vocaling better than Aethera's?
Yeah, if you're watching now, please don't take offense, Paul, my dear old friend. But they're different vocalists, definitely, and Dagon is more skilled when it comes to the clean vocals, and my opinion. And he is also a multi-talented vocalist and singer. Aethera is very, very good. He's good at what he's doing. But what can I say? I mean, I love them both, and Dagon did a fantastic job on the one album he was on. I would have loved to have him on more albums, but you see, when I left Susperia, he left at the same time because he didn't want to be in the band without me for some reason.
Oh.
How romantic.
Yeah.
I had to as an opportunity. Well, you had a long stint in Susperia. What was the moment you realized, you know what, it's time for me to bow out? Because you did commit quite a bit of your time. Because prior to that, you had done a lot of session work. You had done stuff where you even did like specific tracks. I think Old Man's Child, you did a song, and then you even contributed to Seven Sins, and I think even more. So what was like? This seemed like this was like the one where you found yourself to be, okay, I'm here for the long ride, but then all of a sudden you finally had your moment of peace to bow out. What made that choice? Because that had to have been tough after bouncing around and then settling down.
Well, it was like, first of all, it was like leaving your family. That's the cliche here. I mean, I've been through so much with those guys. You wouldn't believe. We almost died once. It's like everything happened with Susperia. We had such a good time. We had so much, almost had a six-pack after just laughing with the guys for so many days. I mean, we were tripping, we were drinking, we were having so much partying and fun. But I think that how to put this in a subtle way that I don't offend people. The thing is, I have ADHD, so I am a go-getter. I want to do stuff. I don't want to wait around. I don't want to sit around on my fucking couch waiting for things to happen. So the thing is, if you're playing a band with me, you need to know we will be touring, we will be doing albums, we will doing, and they will happen like almost every day. I will give you a phone call, what's happening, where's your lyrics or whatever, where's your guitar riffs or whatever. I mean, that's the kind of guy I am. I am very demanding. And at some point, I was the, tour manager, and co-writer and everything for Susperia. And when I got, at some point, I got feedback from somebody in the band, I don't want to say who, said that I am too ambitious.
What?
And I was like,
what's wrong with that? That's a good
sounds
thing.
like a good
You're
thing.
driven.
yeah, that's what I thought too. But then they were like, because you're annoying me.
Oh, low blow.
And I was like, please, what are you saying? And he was like, no, you're too demanding, you're too ambitious, and you just realize, Memnock, it's not going to happen. There's not going to be a new album until I say so. There's not going to happen anything until I say so. And I was like, well, to put it mildly, I told him to go fuck himself. And he was like, well, maybe it's time to blah, 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 blah. And another year passed because I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And another year passed, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sorry, guys. I can't do it. I mean, I got so much music inside and I got so many ambitions for this band, and I can't watch it just die. So I just basically said, okay, guys, I think this is it. And they were like, most of the guys in the band were like, "Oh, that's sad," but that one guy that I didn't mention the name of, he was like, "Yeah, I think it's a good thing because we had a tension going on between us." I'm like, "Fuck." Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a big wow.
Seriously.
And that is after 25 years. Fuck it. Almost 25 years. Yeah.
Hey, but you know, it's like they say, living well is the best revenge. And you're still going.
Yep. And I'm not quitting in a while, I hope. I mean, I want to be on stage when I'm 80. I don't care.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah, like John Carpenter.
Yeah, I want to look like Gandalf or whatever with long beard or whatever and stand on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is metal. You shall not pass. You know, it's like,
Well, the Stones are still going, and Rod Stewart's got a tour, so you know.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Why
Bruce
not?
Dickinson is still moving at 80 miles per hour too. Don't forget that. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
just saying, like,
Those guys are awesome, by the way, man.
oh, of course, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of freaky to see that, like guys who are in that age and they move around and play like they're in their prime, and you see guys who are in their 20s and 30s, and they can't even do what these these old men can do. It's really wild to see. It's for me though, it's inspiring. You seem like you're from that driven sense like me. You don't get like intimidated. You get inspired by like, I want to be like that when I'm older, rather than get intimidated. And that's a good way to be, because that mentality is fewer and far between nowadays, and that's very unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, you should really work hard. That's
Oh,
the point.
yes.
You shouldn't sit and wait for the success to drop down in your head, because it won't.
No.
You need to work hard to be able to, do anything in life. And sorry, but I hate lazy people. It's not for me.
We'll make that two of us.
But
So
work
no
hard
offense
is
to anyone.
important.
Yeah.
No, but working hard is so important. And when I started 540 Studio, I had to work for it, and I still work for it, and I'm trying to make it grow. It's work.
It is.
And that's why I always also, every time I end the stream, I would say life's too short, make the most of it, because I mean it. I don't say it just for fun. I mean it. I want to work for what I love and my passion, and I think a lot of other people should do that. If you have a passion, work for it
Go
and
for it.
really fight for it.
Yeah, really. And that being said, with all respect to people who love their life, just want to have their life as it is, no problem. I have no problem with that. But if you're in a band with me, you need to expect to be pushed.
Yeah, you have to expect that.
Darius hit me up with a knowledge bomb before the show started that I thought was pretty funny, but I'll let him tell you about it.
Which one was that?
About the Rickenbacker.
Oh, yeah. So if you do a DuckDuckGo search for Rickenbacker 4001, Memnock comes up as the top result.
Seriously?
Yeah.
See, that's good. That's good. That's why DuckDuckGo's reliable.
Are you still using it?
No, I love the bass, so maybe I should try for a sponsorship on that bass then.
It shows you once again though the how the engine works with DuckDuckGo. Actually shows you the results of these things right away. Because if you do it on Google nowadays, you get mixed up things, and you're like, "What am I trying to find here?"
Right.
Yeah, you get a bunch of buy options from Google.
Yep.
Yeah, you do. That's nice. I mean, I used to have the 4001 Rickenbacker, and that was awesome. And bear in mind, I bought it because I saw Cliff Burton had one. So that's why I bought it in the first place. So, not because of Lemmy, just because of Cliff Burton.
You started out with a Court, though, right?
Yes, I did, and that was a small. It was a mini bass actually. It was not too good sounding, to put it, politely. And then I had an Area Pro 2. I almost got to buy, a 1986 Area Pro 2 Cliff Burton version, but I didn't have the money. That was back in the 90s. And just imagining having that now, that would be worth so much money. But But I think it cost like 10,000 kroners, which is like what, £1,000 maybe, ish.
Something like that.
And that was back in the 90s, and I was only 16, so I didn't have the money. But
Oh no.
well,
Wow.
that's life.
Yeah.
So what are you jamming with now?
I'm with Warwick. I'm actually endorsed by Warwick.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, nice.
So I have a 6-string
That's really nice.
Warwick. Yeah, it is. It's a good sounding bass, but it's quite heavy. So I have, strained my arm because it's like hanging too heavy down on my shoulders. So like, yeah, that's life.
It's too bad you're not like the size of Vortex, because then he can handle that thing like a baby. But
You should have seen. We did a sound check when we were touring with Dimmu, and Vortex was off doing something else when there was sound check, and they asked me, "Could you do the sound check for Vortex?" I was like, "Sure." And I put on his bass, and the strap was so it was so long that it was hanging down at my toes. This is actually because he's really tall.
he's like
he's
6
Yes,
foot
he is.
7.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
But he's a tall, giant, nice guy. He's like the nicest guy you could meet. Just full of laughs. He's hilarious, actually.
I'm so glad he is back with Bork Nagar. I love their sound now with him.
Yeah. And of course with Arcturus, that's also awesome.
Yeah, I saw
Arcturus is good.
Arcturus 6 years ago. They actually came to America when they did Maryland Death Fest 2014. Yeah, that was really weird to say. Like, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually saying Arcturus. And it was my first time saying, I think Galder. Yeah, Galder, not being in Dimmu, because I've been growing up so being accustomed to seeing him in Dimmu. So to see him in Arcturus, I'm like, wow, this is really surreal. And now that was the same year I got to see Take as well. And I couldn't believe Host got into the country because he had his convictions on his record. It was like a fluke. I'm like, holy crap, this is reality. Host got into the country.
Yeah.
Memnock has good things to say about Galder, though, working with Old Man's Child.
Yeah.
it's,
What was like? You did a song or two or one.
Yeah, some. Yeah, he's
Okay.
kind of in my eyes a musical genius. He's also a riff master. I mean, he can just pour out so many cool riffs. It just flows. He's also he's a nice guy. I really like him. He's got his thing going with Old Man's Child now. I think he's finished with the new album, but it's not released yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the last time I saw him, he was like saying he was done with the whole album. So we will see. Revelation 666, which was the album I played a few songs on, is to me a great black metal, album at the time, and still is. I think it's
For sure.
underrated a lot. It should be, up there with the other big black metal bands. Yeah, but that's just my opinion.
All right.
We got a. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I want to ask a very simple, straight question.
Okay.
Venom or Bathory?
Come again?
I'm gonna say Bathory.
Venom or Bathory?
It's Bathory for me.
I did that too.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, they did a cover of Black Diamond that you can't beat with a stick. It's so fucking good.
Thanks. I'll agree on that one, T-shirt. I'll agree on that one.
I mean, obviously, both are very monumental and historical. And were laid out some of the architecture for the groundwork for bands like you and all the art personalities. How weird that to have it been, because you're obviously Norway is like a really tiny country compared to, like, I guess you could say the U.S. Did it
Yeah.
feel weird to have all these bands, particularly coming from Norway, and then all these bands, like it all feels like half the population's playing black metal? What was that like? Or at least it must have felt like that.
Well, when it all started, as you know, it was a lot of bad media about it. But when it cooled down a bit, people started to, write letters or mails or whatever we did back then, and asking, "Do you sleep in a coffin? Do you drink blood? Do you burn churches? Do you, all the regular thing?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Yes, of course I do. Yes, of course. Yes, of course we do." We burn churches for breakfast, and we eat small children and drink blood for lunch, of course, and then we sleep in coffins at night or at morning or whatever.
And now black metal is one of Norway's chief exports, right after raw aluminium. So
There you go.
No, but being a bit serious, yeah, it was weird, but if you were inverted cross, half of Norway wanted to kill you and half of Norway liked you, if you know what I mean.
Oh yes, I know exactly what you mean.
And often you were getting a beating because you had long black hair, and everybody, because okay, as you know, since teacher that is a historian, he also knows that some of the churches those guys burned were old Viking churches.
Fantov Stave Church, yeah.
Yes,
That's true.
And that was more than 1,000-year old. And by burning that, you also burn a lot of old Norwegian history, because that church wasn't pure Christian. That was also heathen, because they had all the heathen signs. They had Thor, Odin, everything, and they also had same as a lot of other stav churches that we have in Norway. So a lot of Norwegians were very angry about that.
I was gonna move to something, but I wanted to get this question because this is pretty good. I love that doc about the band that killed each other. Interesting story. Are you talking about Mayhem? Awesome one, because that was what band was it? That was Mayhem. First it was Dead, who killed himself, and they took pictures of it for Dawn of the Black Hearts, the album cover. I have that. Shh.
Yeah.
And then later on, Varg Vikernes, he stabbed Euronymous to death, or Stian,
Just paradise in Norway, as per usual. I want to ask Memnock, of all the projects you've been, which obviously Susperia was your baby the longest. I'm gonna imagine that's the one you're probably ultimately the most proud of, since that was the one you had the relationships with everything. Which album of yours did you hold up in the highest regard looking back? Because I'm sure now that you've been away from it, you kind of like take off the fanboy goggles. Because every time you create an album, you're always saying it's the best thing you've done because it's new, it's fresh. But now that you've had time to reflect, what do you feel like the proudest thing you've achieved? Or is it something outside of Susperia?
Well, the first album is obviously a very good one, because that was kind of experimental, and that was something new that we were part of. Also, I actually like very much the last one we did.
Oh, really? Yeah. Nice. The one on Agonia, I think 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Lyricist?
Yeah. Lyricist.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Because if you have heard the song, I don't remember song titles anymore. I'm getting old.
I could check it out.
The song that goes like "A long lost soul," it's a very beautiful song. It reminds me of the doom metal vibe.
Which that's kind of your style now, isn't it? The doom metal sound. I like it.
It has always been my style, because even back in the day, when I was younger, listening to all the death metal from Florida and the death metal scene back then, I tend to like the slow songs, So if you listen to Obituary slowly,
Oh,
rewrote,
what an
that was
album!
Yeah.
my favorite.
One
Yeah.
of the best ones ever. Woo-hoo-hoo.
You know, when the riff comes in, do dee dee do dee dee do dee dee do dee do do do, it's like yes. To me, that was, and also I listened to a band called Overkill. They
I know them.
Mm-hmm.
We know them.
Bobby Blitz, man, one of the
Yeah.
all-time
There you go.
greats.
That was back in the day, and they had a song called "Playing with Spider Skull Crusher."
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, Years of Decay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Years of Decay. Great album.
That also is the slowest song ever. I think it's 1 BPM or something. It's like it's so slow. It's just
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with that statement because sometimes when the songs are a bit slower, they do hit a little harder because of how slow it is. And I get that. And I always called when you brought up Obituary with death metal, I always called them for like, you know, people were getting into death metal. I'm like that they're like the Black Sabbath of death metal because they're not like super fast, like it's like I don't know, Vital Remains of Dying Theist, but they got like a steady speed, but it's not too fast. There's no blasting, but it hits you so hard when you hear that legendary voice of John Tardy, and it's so distinct too. You don't mistake that voice anywhere you go. That voice is unmistakable.
actually Susperia did a warm-up gig for them in Greece in 2004, and that was their reunion. So they had the original lineup, and I was like, man, I'm standing here with the Tardy brothers. What the, you know, it's like that was just awesome back then. But you know, yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh man, that had to have been weird. Like I can only imagine what that's like. Like here you are watching these guys, aka Florida boys, before there was nowadays the Florida man. They were that to me. A lot of the Florida death metal was the Florida man. So that had to have been crazy for you. And when you got out of the country for the first time, then assuming that I feel like you have a few times. Did that like feel weird to like get out and play into another country? See, hey, there's these art people here who are aware of your music.
That was, to be honest, I've been an entertainer, to put it that way, because I've been into standing. I've been on stage since I was very young, and to be able to stand on a stage in a foreign country playing the music that I've been a part of making, that was just fantastic. It felt just, yes, I'm home, you know. And because I know that a lot of people thinks that studio is the coolest thing. No, to me that's just a necessity. You need to go to the studio to make an album, right? But playing live, that is the way I can express myself honestly. So I love playing live. So that was just short answer to a short question. Yes, that was fantastic.
But that's so understandable.
I gotta ask. I know that a lot of Norwegian producers and stuff, they go through Peter Tagtegren's studio over in Sweden. He's the front guy for Hypocrisy, which I love that band so much. Have you ever gotten a chance to work with him?
We did Old Man's Child, that was in Abyss Studio, and the 2 first albums of Susperia was in Abyss Studio. So that was Tagtegren, he was the producer. So I worked with him on 3 occasions, actually. 3 albums.
Is he cool, or is he like?
I love him. I mean, he's, the Norwegians and the Swedes, they have kind of the same sense of humor, but the Swedish tend to be more, how to put it, the
goofy?
Norwegians are more goofy or more, dirty in the kind of humor they got. They swear a lot.
Yes.
So we had a good laugh, but he was, he's a busy guy, but he's a fantastic guy to work with, because once he sets the sound, it's just, plain work. It's like, boom, it just flows, because he's like, okay, no, I want the drums to sound like this, the bass should sound like that, and he's like, da 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 da, and then you play, it's like, whoa, am I that good, really?
Oh, damn.
He makes it sound good.
Yeah.
Well, And this is a good lead in. We had this earlier. It says, "Too bad we can't hear a few riffs because of YouTube." Well, I do actually have something that we can check out. This is from an upcoming video game of all things, called Metal Hellsinger, and it's a rhythm game where you smash the buttons to the beat of the thing. I thought it was pretty cool. I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought of it. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good for what you get to hear of it.
Okay.
Am I a shithead because I actually think the digitally overprocessed bass actually sounds pretty good. You'll see what I mean. But this is about a 2-minute clip. So check it out, see what you all think. We actually won't get copyright claimed on this one, so I'm shocked. So here you go.
Glorious.
When is this game coming out?
Next year.
I'm so gonna get it.
I got one complaint though, and I'm at the back snorter poop. It still has a lack of violence, and I take very big exception to that lack of violence. So more madness, please. More madness. I need to play with. Oh man, no, it looks good. In all seriousness, no, it looks fun.
It looks
awesome. What do you think about the sound though? As far as the metal,
that was I mean, the gamers wanted to go on game. I was just like, I want to headbang and go and sing because I love the vocals. I mean, I don't think people understand how incredibly good that vocal actually is.
Yeah.
takes so much out of you to be able to do that because wow, that was
I was impressed. I never thought a game like that would come out.
Yeah, I know. Considering all the shit with metal and then the satanic panic and all this other stuff, to actually go lean into that and go full bore on a game.
So Memnock, when are we gonna hear your music in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that is all up to the gaming industry. Do they want doom metal?
Do
We
it.
could find a game for that.
Well,
Yeah,
dude,
please
well, there's
do.
a one game that came out, Brutal Legend. That was a great
Yeah.
game. They actually had
Yeah.
some decent songs. Brutal Legend had some decent ones. I was shocked because once again I came from that realm too. It didn't just have like the commercial based stuff that the normies know, but it actually had stuff that I would actually know. I'm like, oh hey, look, someone actually went out of the way to look into it. It wasn't like the Grammys with the whole Jethro Tull thing where they want to act like they knew about something, but. No, the Brutal Legend, they actually put some heart into it, which I do respect when someone at least tries to put a valiant effort to acknowledge it like the right way, as it should be. And Brutal Legend got it right. So hopefully we get more of that in the future done right. But anyways,
So I'm hoping.
yeah, I hate to say this, but I gotta get moving. I gotta go be dad in the Chicagoland area. But Menock, it was a pleasure. You have a great evening or day, whatever it is over there. And Grim, T-shirt, Jace, Darius, you guys
Nick.
have fun here. Yes.
So glad you could make it, Nick.
Oh, the pleasure is mine.
Thanks.
I wish I could be around more, but obviously duty calls. So you guys have a good one. I'll be listening to my car, okay?
All right.
Take care,
Take care, man.
Take care, Nick.
See you later, man.
See you guys.
So, yeah.
How about that game, man? Damn. That made me pumped. Like I was
know.
headbanging. I was headbanging while we
Yeah,
were
me
watching
too.
the
I was
video.
too. I was too. I was watching the camera. I didn't see Memnock doing the head spin, but I can just imagine if he still had his hair.
Oh, yeah, just rub it in, please.
Yeah, borrow mine. Maybe I can drape it over.
Yeah, please do.
Well, there is this Japanese anime called One Punch Man that he worked out until his hair got lost, right?
Yeah.
He lost his hair. So Memnock, maybe you just have been training too hard, so you just lost your hair.
Probably, yeah. That's
To become the strongest in the world, to be the best.
Yeah, got nothing to do with age. What?
I was thinking though. Did you hear like that? Is it just my ear, or does that bass that's in that was in that track does it sound very digitally overprocessed, or is that normal?
Probably, yeah. Nah, I think that probably it wasn't a real bass. I think it's a digital bass, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know that for sure, but it sounded, as you said, very overprocessed. But
They always
Well-
pump up the bass in those for the rhythm.
Yeah,
For
the
they
game
have to.
anyway, so.
that's why. That's the mix then, I guess. And also, when to be a when we started recording albums, we were back in the ADATs. Do you remember this big video? This looked like VHS tapes, and when you recorded, you had like 8 of those. So if you did anything wrong, you had to, either just keep it or go all the way back and start all over.
wow.
But nowadays, the point is where I'm getting at is that nowadays you can copy paste and you can, put it so on grid that it doesn't sound human anymore. So I guess maybe that's what they've done on that bass and drums, because it was so tight that it sounded like a machine. So maybe that's I don't know. Maybe that's a reason.
No,
It's too tight.
Yeah, that's what she said. What?
Oh, ooh.
There I was, being classy, not saying that.
Oh man.
Memnock took over the job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You were talking earlier about the technology that you've used during lockdown to get tracks together.
Yep.
Is that something you think you're going to carry forward after COVID, or is it something you want to see the back of?
Well, when it comes to Antiqua, in a way, we're like stationed in 5 different countries, is it? I mean, 1 in Australia, 2 in America, 1 in Canada, and Europe and Norway. So it's like the plan was that everybody was supposed to meet, this year in April. Then COVID hits. The plan is that everybody gets to meet here at my place next year in April. We will see. If COVID hits, well, then we have to do it, as you said, separately. So, but it's not an ideal thing, but it works. I mean, we should brace technology. We shouldn't, be afraid of it. But sometimes it feels, to me, better to be in the same room as the people I make music with. It's more, inspiring. Yeah.
Definitely, you can feed off of each other.
Yeah, definitely. So the answer would be, I hope we can meet in person, not, the COVID way.
Memnock, I gotta say, you being here is like a really big deal today, like bigger than I actually expected, because Jace has just informed me that I have hit over 300 subscribers now since you've been here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, man. I'm pretty fucking happy for you.
Thank you. I'm so ecstatic. I didn't, it seems like I was sitting around 250 for such a long time. So.
Well,
wow.
Okay, I'm glad I can help. If that
there you go. Yeah, we got to bring you on more often. You're like my good luck charm now.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. just bring on the interesting questions so we can, have a chat next time too. So.
Maybe we all can, sponsor him a wig or something. Just to be nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. I love you too.
Oh man.
One day I'm probably gonna lose my hair too. So.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot now. You keep shaving it down.
I haven't done that for a long time now.
Oh, okay.
I'm saving it because I'm gonna have long black hair.
Oh, there you go. This is interesting. This comment, he says this buddy Scott would love this stream. Big black metal fan, introduced me to Dimmu and such. R.I.P. Scott, pouring one out for my homie. I have to admit, Dimmu Borgir was my introduction to black metal also.
Same.
Yeah, so it's maybe, I think I want to say they were probably like the first like really commercial black metal that hit America. I don't know. But, I did my due diligence and I went back and I checked out everybody else too. That's where I learned about Hypocrisy. That's where I learned out about Immortal and Mayhem and everybody else. Because, once you go down the rabbit hole, man, it's just, got to listen to all of it.
Dimmu really hit the charts when they released Morning Palace.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it all started, and I mean, I have so much respect for the guys because up until Vortex and even left the band or got kicked out, whatever people think, I think Dimmu stayed true to their sound. Now I think the newest album they released a couple of years ago is not my cup of tea, to put it that way.
No.
Because it's too polished.
It is.
Too polished. And they use instruments and choir like no, sorry. Didn't work for me.
It's
Well,
kind of...
I agree with you. It's like, I'm also a really big fan of, metalcore and deathcore, right? It's been one of my big things since I was young. And these days, everything sounds copyrighted. It's you can hear it's just, how do you say it? They're using mostly computers and everything, and it doesn't feel the same anymore. I went to a rabbit hole today to look at some old bands that I used to listen to, Bring the Horizon, for example. It's a really good example. They used to be really deathcore, metalcore before, right? And now they've become more of mumble metal, auto-tune stuff. And I'm just like, what happened to the good
I
old
hate
days?
metalcore too. Ugh.
I like
is
the
mumble
old...
metal a thing? Really?
Yeah.
Mumble metal?
Yeah.
What the actual
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. That's a thing. But no, like one of the things that made me really love metal and everything of metal in general was Rise to Remain, and the kid who's the vocalist is the kid of Bruce Dickinson.
Right.
Yeah, from Iron Maiden. So his son had a band called Rise to Remain, and that's where my introduction to really metal and everything just hit me for the first time. Because before that, I was only listening to mostly, Backstreet Boys and and stuff like that, And then my dad has always been, a metal fan and stuff like that. So I found the band because my dad told me that Iron Maiden, the vocalist has a son who had a band, and I checked it out, and that's when I really started loving metal and just went to that rabbit hole and changed my music taste.
Well, I mean, let's go around and talk about it then. I'll start. It's like, so my introduction to metal really, I guess, started with rock because like the very first rock and roll album I ever got was Kiss Rock and Roll Over way back in the day when it was brand new. And like I said, I didn't discover black metal until Dimmu. So that was a long time later. But
all of you guys had a better experience than me because I'm so young.
Well, I would.
Maybe,
you
maybe
have
not.
access to a lot more though.
Well,
True enough,
what about you,
sure.
Grim?
My dad was into a lot of punk stuff, so I didn't rebel that way. So I got into a lot of punk and stuff through him, stuff like Dead Kennedys,
Nice.
Peter and the Test Tube Babies, Undertones, Buzzcocks, that kind of stuff. And he was also into a lot of the early experimental electronic stuff, like Here Come the Warm Jets, stuff like that. Then at school, there was a sort of clique of kids who were into Iron Maiden, which I kind of liked, but mostly for the lyrics and the art. And then I fell in with my tabletop role-playing group, and a lot of them were serious metalheads. So there was Richard, who looked like a dwarf, big fork beard later on in his life. Experimented a lot with substances, ceremonial magic, and explosives. So he was a good guy to introduce me. So my first proper gig was Slayer. To talk about baptism of fire, right? 1992, Portsmouth Guildhall. That was like a whole body experience, and didn't really look back after that. that was a wild gig.
Wow.
My friend went into the mosh pit. He came out one end. His trousers came out the other. Slayer mosh pit literally tore his clothes off. So,
Sounds familiar.
Snort.
Yeah.
Stortopupus. It's funny. I said it's a Norwegian conspiracy. I've been making the joke. Andre was supposed to be with us tonight, but he unfortunately had work commitments that derailed him, and he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. But I'd made the joke. I said, if we get Stig Kenobi on here too, we will have enough Norsemen that we should go raid Lindisfarne or something. But,
I'll go and open the gates.
there you go. There you go. How about you, Darius? What was your introduction to metal?
Well, I was a hip hop kid going into high school, and then
no.
Well, we have a Detroit station called The Riff, and they had a 10 p.m. show every night called Mandatory Metallica. And so Metallica was really my first metal band, but that was around the same time that nu metal was really big, and so it was only uphill from there. And when I got into Iron Maiden, really, really big, and I got into power metal. But then, so I was raised in a very devout Christian home, so there were certain things that I was warned about, right, and that I felt like I shouldn't like, and yet I felt mysteriously drawn to those things. So like they warned us about Slayer. Slayer is the devil's music, right? And then I listen to it. I'm like, this is awesome, right? And so black metal was like that, especially, right? Because like, oh, they're all Satanists. They're all worshiping Satan. And I'm like, oh, I can't like that.
of course.
Maybe I'll just check it out a little bit just to hear what it sounds like. And I just got sucked in. I loved it. And so I was, I had a college radio show, and there was like a couple of metal shows, but they're very knowledgeable about music, and they have a huge catalog of music in there. Shelves upon shelves of music. And so I would ask them, like, what do you recommend? And they'd just give me a stack, and I would just go through. I spent hours going through it. So yeah, no, that was a good time.
What about you, Memnock? What started you down the metal path?
Well, I try to remember because I bought my first Judas Priest cassette, actually.
Oh, yeah.
1986, and could that have been Turbo Lover? I think.
Oh, wow.
I think that was released in '86, and then I bought, of course, Ram It Down. That came the year after, a couple of years after, and then I was introduced to Iron Maiden, and they played Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, and I was
I remember that.
Great. Maiden is my biggest band. I love them. So I bought all the older albums, and then they released, No Prayer for the Dying, and I was like, fuck off. Sorry, not anymore. And eventually I just started to listen to, I bought At War with Satan, the Venom album, and then I bought a band called Possessed.
Oh.
Gates of Hell, I think they had a holdout album, just by pure coincidence, because I was the kind of guy that went to vinyl shops, and I was like just scanning through the vinyls. Oh, that was a cool cover. So just by the base of the cover, it's like, I'll buy that. Sometimes I got disappointed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got that sounds great. So
But that's what's fun, right? In the old,
Yeah.
you go through just albums and you find something that looks cool, and then you just turn it on, and either you like it or you don't like it, or there's some songs that are good and some songs that are it's whatever. But
and my first really big metal show, I went to Sepultura, the Arise tour. That must
Nice.
have been in '91, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. And also the year after, Pantera and Megadeth were touring, and I saw them, and I was like, okay, wow, this is, I just remember Phil Anselmo being more above stage than on the stage, because he was like, wow, he was so full of energy, if you know what I mean. And
Yep.
they swept Megadeth off the stage with a broom. So it's like, whoosh. And when I saw Megadeth, we was like, what's this? This is just a boring, band. It's a good band, but, compared to Pantera back then,
Yeah.
they were so energetic. And, Megadeth came, and Dave Mustaine was drunk as always, and was like, yeah, been great. We've been Megadeth, and thanks for the... I was like, fuck. So I was disappointed.
Dave
Dave
Mustaine.
Mustaine is ginger, so
Yeah.
got no soul. You got to have soul for music.
Never thought about that one. That's a good one. Never thought about that one.
Oh, and here you go, Memnock. He had a compliment from Arian Wilhelmsen. Says, "I'm glad I know Memnock. He opened my ears to so much metal I didn't know."
Okay, thanks, Aaron. That's good.
Um,
To help.
We
You
had a,
like Judas Priest, but have you ever put a backwards message on one of your albums?
Did I ever put a backwards message on my album? Well, that's up to the listeners to find out, I guess. Of course I did. And if you listen to it, you will summon Satan.
well, everything you do these days summons Satan. Like you just got to go scan your groceries and you summon Satan.
According to my mother, that's true.
Oh, we had a.
The only song I ever actually found a backwards message on was Madonna's "Justify My Love."
Oh no shit.
Okay?
Yeah, it says "I love Satan" clearly and distinctly when you play it backwards.
I
So-
knew it! I knew it! I fucking knew it!
That's how she looks so good now.
Yeah.
So what
She sold
did
her
we do
soul.
wrong?
You missed the Hollywood Satan. You just got the
Of
Norwegian
course.
Satan. Norwegian Satan just promises you beer,
Yeah, that's the problem.
but hopefully not like that piss warm Ringnes or anything.
I hate Ringnes. That's the.
It doesn't. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not. It tastes like piss, to put it blunt.
What do you drink these days?
Red wine.
Oh, okay.
Mostly. Red wine mostly. If I have a beer, it's like you know the lager.
Nice.
Beer. No, yeah.
I'm all about the Dunkelweiser, but
Dunkelweiser. Yeah.
Dunkelweiser.
You have to say
We
it
had
that
a-
way in German.
Yeah, we had a good question here earlier. This is for you and Memnock, Jace. This is, how did y'all meet?
You want to take
Well-
that, Memnock?
Yeah, I can do it. I am a martial arts practitioner and also a sensei. So, Jace, I don't remember what year, but he came to me and asked if he could, be my student. And of course, I said yes. So basically, that's it. That's how we met. And back then, he
Yeah.
was very, very. I mean, your kicks, you could kick so high that is like. Damn, and you were so fast back then, so I was like, this kid got a future as a martial artist. But
I really
shows-
wanted to be a martial artist when I was young, so I still kind of want to, but it's not my biggest passion.
no, you can have both, both music,
Yeah.
gaming, and martial art. That's true.
Yeah.
Three things. Yeah. So that's how we met,
Yeah.
actually, and
That's
we
how we
just
met,
kept in contact after that, basically.
Yeah. I was a little annoying kid at that time.
No comments.
Well, I was an emo, so what do people expect? I was like a little emo boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
but,
needed the
you know,
martial arts.
No.
Yeah, I
you
needed the martial arts.
basically, yeah.
No, but I was a real big fan of Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee and all that stuff. So it was real nice to have something really close. Like me and my dad, we actually drove for a little bit just to come down there, just because I wanted to train. And I met Memnock, and like I'm honest with this, and I've said it many times too, is that even my dad has said this a lot of times, that Memnock is basically the other father in my life, and he always will be. He'll be my second father no matter what people
Thank
say,
you.
and
Thank you, man.
I love that guy to death.
Love you too.
Okay, this next question may be a little embarrassing, but I know your real name, so we in preparation for the interview, I was doing all my research because historian, and we came across something really interesting on IMDb. Apparently, you had a part in a 2016 horror movie called Deadbait. Could you tell us anything about that?
I want to kill somebody.
Oh my!
Fuck! Came up with that. Why? I mean, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But that is something I'm not proud of, because that was just if you've seen the movie.
I have seen it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, it speaks for itself. It's a zombie horror-ish movie, and I have sex with a dead girl, to put it. Thanks for laughing out loud.
And if I don't remember wrong, I think your dick got bitten off.
Yep.
He just quickly, yep. It's like, shut up, Jace. Thank you.
That's Grim. Do not type. No. You do not Google it.
No.
It's okay. I can link you the footage later, Grim.
Yeah, oh my god.
You
That
can't
was,
shock me.
What made you say yes to that, if I may ask?
My ADHD, I guess.
Well, it's good to have something to
what?
blame it on.
I don't know. I don't know, because
You don't need to worry about Grim being ashamed. You need to ask him what he does on Wednesday nights.
Whoa. I play nerdy tabletop games with porn people. That's what I do.
That's nice.
On camera.
It's very nice. Not me on camera, I hasten to add.
I'm not,
Well, at least not naked.
judgmental.
I'm still
We
trying
should
to put
mutually
together.
not judge each other.
Oh, I'm trying to put together a collection so we can get you to get your shirt off at some point during the video. But it's like $500.
Yeah, you get most.
No, but yeah.
subscribers.
Well, yeah, but so it's easy to find it because what do you call it again? T-shirt. That website.
IMDb.
Yeah, because you are credited in that, so they can like find the movie and what you've done.
I've been trying to hide that movie for so many years, so let's keep on hiding it. Yeah?
Yeah. It's not that easy.
I got
Oh.
kids now, you know.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We were talking about Dimmu earlier. I do have to say that my favorite Dimmu era was back in when Stian Arstad was with them. Although I did like Mustus, but I just liked Stian's keyboarding in that early Dimmu band.
Right.
But
right. It's.
Go ahead.
No, it's just Øyvind is a very good friend of mine. Mustis, he's maybe I'm, colored by that, the fact that he's a good friend. But I think he took Dimmu to a higher level.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. Yeah.
I'm just looking at one of the comments of Ironcaster right there. That made me laugh. Memnock needs to give it George Lucas Star Wars holiday special treatment. It never existed.
Like it never existed. We don't talk about that one.
I'm going to have to go, but I've got one more question.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Have you ever gotten lost in the forest doing like a band photo or a music video? Double points if it was in Finland.
Well, no, sir, I haven't, because I got a sense of, where I'm going. So, no, I haven't. But I've gotten lost in the forest, yeah, but not because of that. So,
Independently.
that was because I was, so I probably would have found my way if I just stood up, if you know what I mean. Because I was probably more crawling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it was great to meet you. Have a great winter festival and New Year's. And
Yes.
I'll leave you in T-shirt's capable hands.
Grim, thank you
Bye-bye.
for coming.
Thank
Take care,
you,
man.
Grim.
Very
And
much.
I'll see you tomorrow
See ya.
morning.
See you guys.
See ya.
Take care.
If I can find the leave button. There we
I love that
Grim.
guy.
Fewer and
Yeah.
fewer and fewer.
Yeah, we're winding down, I think. All right, so since we're talking about the old days, let's start with the oldest one we got on record. So tell me about Metadocs.
Oh my God, that's a blast from the past. Oh really? But no, Metadocs was, we almost made it, like, because we were about to record an album. We were, again, I was too ambitious, I guess, because eventually everybody left. So, and Metadoc was kind of melodic thrash metal. Back in the 90s, early 90s. It was I think it was a great band. I loved playing it, that band, but, we split up, and right after that I started a new band, and that split up and I started a new band, so it's like, yeah.
The new band was Power Hunt.
Power Hunt, Power Cunts, whatever. you used to call it. That was just, thrash metal band. And then I started Valnaheim.
That one sounds good.
Yeah, well, ish. I played with that band for a couple of years, and then, Susperia, the Susperia thing happened. So I joined them. Yeah.
But somewhere in there you did your first Abyssic Dreams in 98.
Yeah,
with Dark Angel.
True, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That
Store
was
T-shirt. You are dangerous when it comes to
I
the
know.
history of
Ah.
dumb things.
yeah. Wow, you're awesome. I mean, yeah, that was just a demo with 1.5 song, I guess, because the drummer was Atera, which is Susperia's singer, and
Yeah.
while we were recording the last song, his bass drum hammer fell off, and the studio engineer didn't know how to replace it because it broke. So we just had 1.5 song. Oh my god. It was all analog, so it's like, well, yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, we got a new person on here. Hello, Paulus Plain. Andre Einhiar from Midnight Ed sent me here. What are you all about? My introduction to metal was Metallica, S&M. Hell yeah, man, I'm an Iron Maiden fan now. Yeah. Well, this is Memnock from the black metal scene from Susperia, Old Man's Child, Abyssic, and Antiqua. And if you got any questions for him or for the panel, just, shoot them up in the chat. We've been talking for about an hour now and embarrassing him for part of it.
Thanks. That was okay.
We need.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's just fun. We need to have some, fun moments. And
Darius, you've been real quiet, man. What do you got for us? Anything?
I'm trying to remember the first time I heard Memnock play on anything. I think it was probably Revelation 666 with Old Man's Child, because we had that at the station, and I just took it off the shelf, and yeah, I thought it fucking rocked.
You did.
So yeah, that was probably around 2008.
I
It was a little while back.
Tell you a funny story about that, because the guitar player of Antiqua, first time he listened to Old Man's Child, the Revelation 666 album, he got arrested because he was intoxicated and full of, smoking weed. So he was totally stoned. So we were laughing about that because he was like real young back then. I think he was 16 or 17 or something like that. So then it made me feel old, to put it that way. So he was like, yeah.
2000. Okay, see, Jim remembers. He was there. It was probably around 2007, 2008-ish.
Yeah, cool.
So he was usually there with me. We went to some shows together too.
That's nice.
Jim's a big time Pantera fan.
Cool.
Nice.
So you guys, when was the first time you saw, a Norwegian black metal band in the US? You remember? Was that, when did it start to get popular in the US? Was it really early in the 2000s or?
I came into it pretty late, but I can find the actual. You guys go ahead and go first. I'm going to be typing furiously here.
Because I know Dimmu was quite popular. They did the Ozfest. That, I guess that's when really Dimmu got really big in the US.
Oh yeah.
The Death Cult Armageddon album was the one that I first heard from Dimmu, because the very first song that I ever heard was Progenies of the Great Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song.
No. I'm sorry. It wasn't Progeny. It was Vredesbeard.
Vredesbeard? Okay.
Yes. I love that fucking song. Because it was I hadn't heard anything like it. It was so fast and it was so brutal sounding.
Yeah. So what is it with the Norwegian black metal you guys, that speaks to you guys? Because I know what it is with me, but to you guys, because the American culture and Norwegian culture are quite different, but somewhat quite similar. But what is it with the black metal music that really speaks to you guys? If you know what I mean.
I'll be honest. At the time I started listening to black metal, death metal, and all this, I was tired of the American metal scene. A lot of the old bands I liked, they felt tired. I didn't like a lot of the newer stuff that was coming out. And everybody was singing about the same shit all the time. Oh, I lost my girlfriend. Oh, I lost my girlfriend. Oh, I lost my girlfriend. Oh, she won't love me anymore. I'm like, you know what? There's more to life than fucking chicks. Okay,
Stop
come on,
whining. Yeah, stop whining.
stop
Just
whining.
just get over it.
Yeah. So here it is, the first time I listened to Vrida's Bird, and I'm like, I didn't understand a fucking word of it. So I had to go look up the translation, and I was like, holy shit, this is dark. But I loved the way it sounded. And then of course I heard Hypocrisy, and I'm like, wow, I love the lyrical content on this. And the more I got into it, the more I started realizing, shit, man, people over in Norway and Sweden have got it going on, because they realize there is something more to life than just fucking.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
so the subject matter pulled me, and of course, the heavy riffing and the sounds and
Yeah. Well, I can say it like this: Norway has two sides. We have those artists in Norway that doesn't make metal or anything, that only sings about sex and drugs and stuff like that. And in Norway we call it russemusikk. I don't know what, because there is no name for it in English. But it's when you celebrate after you're gone to, I think high school and stuff like that. And it's like
done with high school and had your exams and you
Yeah.
party.
You party and drink, and all the songs that are getting made are just about being rich, having sex, and all that shit. And 90% of the artists are not even rich. They don't get any girls. It just sounds really terrible. But
oh god, you guys have rappers in Norway too. That has to be something.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Well,
we do. We have some few good ones, and a lot of people that sings about the same things like every other rapper in the world that mumbles, and you don't understand a shit what they're saying.
Could I just ask Darius, coming from a Christian background, how was it, when you started to listen to black metal? Did that, get me, don't get me wrong, did that kind of scare you? Because a lot of the lyrics is about possession, it's about, dark
Well,
stuff.
yeah, there was a conflict for a period of time, but it, like I said, getting drawn into it and not really knowing why at first, why I liked it so much. I think it is more about just the act of questioning everything that you have been told and making up your own mind,
Yeah.
and deciding for yourself how your life will be and what something means, not because somebody else told you, right? And there's definitely like a rage in the music against, hypocritical
Yep.
structures and institutions and even traditions, of course. And I think that it's sort of because I was pretty young in the process of just becoming an adult, that was very important and useful to me, and the music sounded awesome.
Yeah, that's good answer. Because, as I said earlier, I feel like now the black metal has become like an institution because it has to be a certain way. And when we started, it didn't, because when it started, it was all about being, a rebel, and being like, we don't listen to, the Christian norms. We don't care about the Christians, what they tell us to do, what tell us not to do. We want to do what we want to do. And nowadays, it's like, if you don't act in that certain kind of way, you're not a true black metal, whatever. And when that hits you, you tend to think, maybe, we lost all what the thing was, all about. Because now this has become a kind of a gospel truth, which I don't like. Because to me, it's all about, as you said, being able to think for yourself, make your own choices, make your own, in life, and don't blame anybody else because of your bad choices or whatever. It's like, because Satan told me to. No, he didn't. It's like, no, don't go there. But I got tempted by, because you're a human being. That's why you got tempted. Not because some deity told you to or whatever. When the black metal scene started out, that's what I got drawn to, because I felt like you could do whatever. There weren't any norms, there weren't any rules. You could, if you wanted to, be gay, you could be gay. If you wanted to be whatever, there were no rules. The more sins you did, the better that was. But today it's like, you acted like that. No, that's not black metal. It's like, well, what's the point then? If you know what I mean. It's like, it's supposed to be, for everyone, but not for everyone. Because now it's for everyone that don't get the point of the black metal scene. That's, if you know what I mean. But back in the day, it was for everyone that got the point of it. That it was, our way of rebelling against the Christian society and the system. Because the Norwegians, back when I was young, Norway was also really a Christian country, hardcore Christian country.
Yeah.
So I remember when Covenant was playing at a festival down in the south of Norway, and they burnt a Bible. They almost got arrested because of the blasphemy law in Norway.
Yeah.
That was back.
Yeah, they don't mess around down there.
No, they don't. So, well, yeah, that was so. At least that was why I got into black metal also, because, as I said, that was kind of, as you guys said, when heavy metal and everything, they were just singing about, to fight and to find my love and blah blah blah. It's like,
It is.
Well, yeah, and I felt like if I was going to maintain a strong faith, I should be able to look the devil in his face and tell him no. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't revere the word of another human being. So that was, it didn't. But like I said, I was warned, don't listen to that stuff. It's the devil's music. I'm like, then why does it sound so good?
That's it. That's the thing. It's like sex is the devil's tool. Why is it so good then?
No, I do actually remember because T-shirt and Memnock. You remember I got deleted on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I have a new Facebook. And the reasoning I got deleted and taken away from Facebook was because I was fighting some women that called themselves moms against metal music. Because a lot they claim that a lot of the metal music was Satan's work, and when kids, not kids, but grown-ups and teenagers or whatever, was going in the circle pits and everything, Satan has possessed them and blah blah blah. They went so hardcore on it. And the fun things that when I saw before I got deleted, one of the vocalists actually responded on one of their posts. And the thing is that they also got 666 likes. So they're like, look, the devil's here, and stuff like that. And I'm just starting to laugh. And because I just said something, I don't remember what I said, but it was I was not mean or anything. I was just honest. I called them pussies because you're doing this over the fucking internet. You don't face people in real life. You're using the fucking internet. And it was hate speech for what I wrote. And after that, I got deleted.
Right.
Facebook will strike you for anything.
They will. Was it T-shirt? Was it called the PMRC or something from back in the day when Wasp got banned because they had
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember.
We had that too. Yep.
Yeah.
That was the 80s.
That was the 80s.
Tipper Gore.
Yeah, that was.
Tipper Gore. Yeah. Oh man, they hated Wasp because they put out that they put out that song "Fuck Like a Beast."
Yes.
Yeah.
And that got them banned and shit.
Oh yeah, they hated Twisted Sister, and Tipper was upset that when she bought the Prince album for her daughter, the song "Darling Nikki" was on it. My daughter's only 8 years old. Well, you bought it for her.
Exactly.
Oh man. We had a question about Metalocalypse. Yeah, I watched that show religiously when it came out. I thought it was hilarious, and there is a lot of black metal, death metal jokes in the show. There's an episode where they go to Norway, and they go to this old black metal shop, and there's this old fat guy still wearing corpse paint and shit behind the counter, and the name of the shop is Helvete. You know,
Helvete.
of course.
Yeah, that's real too. That was.
Yeah, that used to be real because Øystein
Yeah.
Aarseth used to have this shop called Helvete. Øystein
Okay.
Aarseth, Eronimus from Mayhem.
Yeah,
Actually,
that is
I've
real.
been to Helvete and bought some albums actually.
You can
Oh,
actually
okay.
still. I don't know if they changed the name on there, but I know it's still up there, and you can still go down where they used to
Yeah.
hang out, take pictures and stuff.
Ah,
Actually,
Yeah.
it's still there.
well, it's hilarious because it's like, you know, they're asking how you like Metalocalypse. He says, I don't like it. It's too digital. And then he starts playing his band. You like this? This is my music. This is my band called the Hestekook.
Fucking horse stick.
Horse stick. That means horse stick, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's
But it was hilarious, man. It was so clever.
yeah. Well. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. I loved metal. I miss that show so much. But
Am I the only one who missed Headbangers Ball and MTV? Actually,
no, I remember that from way back.
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's back when MTV actually played music and not like, you know, reality
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, yeah,
Because these days all they play is like reality shows and rap artists.
yeah.
Yep.
So
It's not what it used to be,
no.
unfortunately. And now it's just drama shows on drama shows on drama shows.
I mean, I'm so sad about the the music scene also because back in the day when I saw Morbid Angel live, I saw all those bands in the Dayside, everything. It was like even the show back then weren't as digital as today. So everything was they played it. They had no playbacks, no probably like today. Guilty as charged. We have a lot of playback because if you have a big orchestra, you probably have a problem, doing it live without making it sound really, small and stuff. So, but back in the day, it seems like so easy to be a musician. Get me wrong, because you had your bass, you had your guitar, and that's it, and your drums, and you fucking made magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, I actually did find out that they have rebranded the store Hell to Nosebleed. In English, it's Nosebleed Records. In Norwegian, it's Neseblod. So that's a new name, and it's still up and going, and you can still travel there and stuff.
they should have left the original name. It's kind of like a monument to Euronymous, but oh well. I guess times change.
Yeah, and there are a lot of conflicted about it because there are some people that because what happened. There are how to put it. It's
A lot of I can't even talk now.
no,
Say it in Norwegian.
I can't find the word.
This is the problem with Norwegians.
Yeah,
Conspiracies.
conspiracy and conflict. So I
Yeah.
guess the name suits it now. But the story is the same.
Yeah.
So, but just not the name. Yeah. Sorry.
And see, that's I was curious about. I mean, you were actually around the scene when all that stuff happened. When the guy from Emperor, murdered the dude, and and then of course Varg Vikernes, killed Euronymous and all that stuff. And of course, Dead killed himself. And I mean, it's like you probably knew some of these guys. I mean, how did that stuff make you feel back then, being in the scene?
Good question. Being young and all, being, it was interesting, to put it that way. That's the best word I can find. It was interesting. It was not scary. It was just interesting. It's like, what's next? And also the newspapers were writing so much about it, so you were exposed to it almost every day. You have a Norwegian paper called Dagbladet and VG, and they wrote so much about it because they're very the commercial press. So
Yeah.
if you Google that back in the day, you will find loads and loads and loads of stuff, and we kind of got overexposed, and to be honest, I pulled more back because I didn't want to be in the media or be in the scene too much because wasn't.
I was kind of wondering if any of that stuff blew back on you guys or not.
No, not really, because as I said, when we start touring with Susperia, people wanted to know if we were sleeping in coffins and burning churches and all that shit. But I mean,
so do you think that did more to hurt black metal's image than help it, or?
No, definitely not. It helped black metal image, definitely, because as I said, black metal back then was about being a rebel, and being the true Satanist or whatever. So yeah, I think it helped because already the Swedes had a big scene, death metal scene, and Norway was kind of a nobody, and then the black metal just exploded because of what happened and took over the whole scene. So it helped. That's the honest truth. It helped.
Okay.
It gave us a lot of publicity.
Well, I mean, obviously, black metal has moved on from being played in the garage on the little DAT master tapes and stuff now,
Sure.
with all the digital processing and stuff like that. But I am curious if you had the chance, would you ever go back to the old style of just the bad recording sounds and everything, where it was more raw and real?
Oh yeah, true cult.
True cult.
Well, that's a good question because that is kind of going backwards into the future. Because I mean, you can't, in my opinion, you cannot recreate the magic from back then because it will all be not fake, but it was poor attempts. At least that's my opinion. And you could make a record sounding crap, but still it wouldn't be authentic or true to me. But I mean, if people want to do it, yeah, sure, go right ahead.
Yep.
I won't.
I just I kind of cringe every once in a while. I'll catch a black metal song where the vocalist is digitally processed vocals, and it's like obviously digitally processed. Yeah,
And
see,
a lot of tunes,
your reaction.
a lot of tunes, like auto-tune on their voices. Even I've heard that in new metal bands, they are also using auto-tunes on their voices when they scream
I think everything from
to make it sound darker or lighter in certain stuff. Yeah.
I think everything from 1990 has been auto-tuned, but
Yeah, it is. And we used to have a joke about having a unit in the mixing desk that was called make the vocal sound darker Elizer, or make it sound good Elizer, or make it sound it's like because you had all that back then. Everybody used
But
it.
your voice is pretty dark when you do the growling and stuff. You have a really good voice.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the interesting part because me and Dagon was actually discussing that because he was like, yeah, but Håkon, when you speak, you got a high-pitched voice, but when you sing sing like you're from the underground and below. I'm like, yeah, and Dagon, when he speaks, he got this dark, kind of rusty voice, but when he sings, he sounds like Rob Halford. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, that is really funny.
So
yeah, I like his vocals. What is he doing now?
just his own stuff, I guess. He makes some songs and some projects, but I tried to have him in a few projects, but he's too busy. So
Of course, too busy.
too busy.
I was gonna say, do you keep up with any of the old guys? I mean, I know you got Shodolf.
Yeah, he plays in Abyssic and also Elvorn. He also plays in Abyssic, and they're both from Susperia, as you know. So
I was about to say, I watched him do a live show in I want to say Poland, and I thought his damn arm was gonna fall off because he was hitting the drum so fast. So I'm sitting here, I'm wincing because I have, like I said, I have rotator cuff tears, and I'm thinking that guy is going to need surgery pretty soon because, Hellhammer had to have surgery.
Yeah, I know, and should have a lot of health issues because of his drumming. So I think his arms are what is called tinnitus. Is it called when you got chronical pain in your arms?
Oh,
Yeah, tendonitis.
Tendonitis, that was the word I was looking for. And also, I think his back is hurting. So he got a lot of health issues. I'm sad to say, but he's doing his best. So.
I think a lot of this.
A lot.
What were you saying?
Unfortunately, a lot of people. It's just life that the body's just gonna fuck up at some point.
Yeah, if you don't stay in shape, that's what's gonna happen.
My uncle played lead guitar for years and years and years in a local band, and eventually, between carpal tunnel and like a strain on his neck, he had to have surgery in both places because he had put so much stress on his neck from the guitar strap and everything.
Yeah.
So this, people, see the happy side or the light side, the showman side of all the, metal and everything else, but they don't see, how much playing the instruments and stuff punishes people. I know of several vocalists who were in danger of losing their voices permanently from some of the stuff that they did.
And never mind your hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get tinnitus and a lot of stuff like that when you're on stage too.
I have it big time. It's like, beeping orchestra in my ears all the time. So
that's what I have, and I have that in one of my ears, just the one ear.
I was going to say, do you wear ear protection or?
Yeah, I do it live because after 2001, the tour I didn't use any protection. But after that, I bought something that is made for my, specially welded for my ears. So nice. They're genius, actually. Because you hear the sound as clear as without, but it's just, lower, some decibel lower. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah, and I just, since I saw in the comments there, rip to Hank von Helvete, and he died this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Our T-shirt and Darius, are you familiar with the guy?
Turbo Negro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few songs by Turbo Negro.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a long, long time.
Oh.
long, long time ago. A galaxy far, far away.
I haven't heard that name. No, good point. Well, time flies.
Okay. Let's wrap it up then. All right.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much out there in the audience for hanging with us. This was like a really special thing. This is the third time I've actually been on with Memnock, and it's been great every single time. Sometimes I worry.
It's basically part 3 of the interview, just on your show.
I did ask a lot of the same questions I did the first couple times, though, because I figured different audience, maybe people didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
So, but
it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, I love to come back because this is, becomes some of my favorite, time doing this. So,
well, thank you. And definitely next time we got to get your record labels to sign off on letting us play the music, because I want to go through the music with you, along with the audience and everything else, so we can all experience it.
I want to share your music all over where we can, man.
Yes, we do. And I posted up links for Antiqua and Abyssic. Guys, go out there. Check it out. You can listen to the music on YouTube. You can listen to it on Bandcamp. If you like it, buy it. Support people who love to make music. Okay? Because you can buy shit or you could buy good stuff from people who love you. Okay?
It's all up to
Okay.
you now, guys.
It's all up to you now. All right. Thank you very much, Memnock.
Thank you so
Anything
much. for
people want to
letting
say
me
Yeah,
do
thank
before
you.
we wrap it up?
Yeah. Darius?
No, this was fun. It was awesome. Thanks for inviting me on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jace?
No, I just want to say this has been such a pleasure, and I love spending time with Memnock. Like I always say, he's basically my second father, and I have gotten him a really cool gift that I'm gonna send hopefully soon, and I know that he's gonna love it. And other than that, it's been a really good show today. I want to thank the audience. I want to thank the panelists. It's sad that Andre couldn't been here because then me, Memnock, and Andre could have talked some Norwegian just for fun.
And rated Lindisfarne later.
Yes. But other than that, as one like I always say, just remember life's too short. Make the most of it, and everyone in the audience. If it wasn't for all of you, we would not been here today. You are the people that keeps us going to make this content for you guys, and you inspire us to keep on going. And we thank all of you with the bottom of our hearts. And just don't forget everyone in this panel and the whole fellowship on YouTube that we work together with and spend time with. We all love you in the chat. We love all of you.
We do. I couldn't say it any better myself. All right. Y'all take care, and we will see you on the next show.
Take
Till
care,
then,
guys.
have a wonderful night.
Bye.